a big story that's coming in that's been again in India Today exclusive. Satellite images accessed by India Today show the Chinese army is recalibrating its deployment close to the line of actual control, and this is in Ladakh. Look at those images accessed by India Today. Now these are satellite images that confirm the presence of the Chinese army in the general area of Gogra and also in the general area of Hot Spring. Remember, after multiple rounds of border talks at the level of co-commanders, after the disengagement that took place south of Pangong So, the next part of disengagement was supposed to be at Hot Spring and Gogra. I quickly want to cut across to India Today's Ankit Kumar joining us with this big story. We're breaking here on India Today. Ankit, bring us details.
Well, Gaurav, since the complete disengagement from the Pangong Lake area and before that from the Galwan River Valley, everybody had hoped that it was just a matter of time that a similar disengagement would follow in Hot Springs as well as in Gogra area. While there was a partial disengagement in Gogra last year, what these images confirm is that a complete disengagement has not happened in Hot Springs and Gogra. Second takeaway is that we can see some recalibration on part of the PLA ground forces, especially in the Hot Springs area where the forward positions seems to have thinned out and even some positions have been vacated. But the more permanent locations occupied by the Chinese forces in backward locations are continued to be occupied by the soldiers. In fact, we see more permanent.
Ankit, I will come back to you for more on this big story. Professor Brahmachalani, this perhaps is one more reason that China cannot continue to escalate tension along the line of actual control and then offer medical aid and expect business to move forward or India-China relations to improve.
Well, if we remember what happened last year, India was enforcing the world's strictest coronavirus lockdown. And China took advantage of that situation to stealthily infiltrate key border areas in Ladakh. Now that India is fighting a devastating second wave of COVID, there are fears that China might similarly take advantage of the situation and spring more military surprises on India. So India has to be on guard. The fact is that tens of thousands of Chinese and Indian forces remain locked in multiple standoffs.
Yes. Not
just in Ladakh, but we also have standoffs elsewhere, including on the Sikkim-Tibet border.
Yes.
So the entire Himalayan frontier is quite tense, and there is a danger that this formerly lightly patrolled frontier could become a hot border that will impose important costs on India. So at this time, when India is so preoccupied with battling a second wave of the coronavirus, the Indian Army should ensure that India is not caught napping again. Because what happened in April, May last year brought national shame. It was not just the territories. It was the fact that India was caught napping, and that is something that should never be repeated.
Let's sincerely hope that we're better deployed, better prepared, and keeping a hawk eye on what the adversary is doing along the India-Tibet border. We'll track that story closely. Professor Brahmachalani and Ankit Kumar, many thanks for joining me.